right, we live. Y'all ready?
I ain't the plug, I'm connected to the socket. Already paid dues, I'm forever paying homage.
All right, man. How you feeling, RJ?
Feeling great, man. We on the second episode of
Playbook in one stop. Playbook in
Playbook
one stop.
1Stop. Yes, man. Bigger and better, man. I
Now
love it.
look, going into this, I know you had a lot of things to get off your chest, but we gonna hold off on that just a minute. We ain't gonna go right into the NBA Finals. We're not gonna talk about Kyrie. We're not gonna talk about that just yet. So, over the weekend, Caitlin Clark missed out on the WNBA Team USA team, and here's the roster. All right, I'm gonna get off of the Instagram thing. Feedback is going crazy,
Okay. That's cool.
but Team USA women's basketball, the official roster. All right, Chelsea Gray, Sabrina Ionescu, Kalia
Right.
Cooper, Jackie Young, Kelsey Plum, Jewel Lloyd, Nafisa Collier, Brittany Griner, Alyssa Thomas, Diana Taurasi, Brianna Stewart, and Asia Wilson. All right, how do you feel about Caitlin Clark not being on that roster?
I feel virtually nothing.
For
Like
real.
this is the thing, like, and I'm a Caitlin Clark fan. Like Caitlin Clark, if you out there and you watching, like I love you. You have
I thought you was in love
took
with Angel Reese. What
I
happened to
am.
that?
I'm
What happened to
I
that?
have me and Angel
Hey,
Reese have a
y'all, if y'all watching, y'all heard him switch up, right? Y'all heard
look,
him
me and
switch
Angel
up.
Reese,
Y'all
me and
heard
Angel
it.
Reese,
Y'all
me
heard
and
it.
Angel Reese, me and Angel Reese, we have a personal relationship. That's something we ain't gonna talk about that right now. But
Go crazy.
hey, Caitlin Clark, like, listen, I like you have helped shape women's basketball and help it become entertaining in a way that no other woman or no other group of females I could say has done it before. But at the same time, come on, man, look at this roster. Let's start with the guards first, because we're not gonna get into the forwards or the front court. We're not
Yeah.
gonna get into the front court
Yeah.
because you know what I'm saying. Like you can't replace a guard with a front court player. Like we not about to get into that. So let's just talk about the backcourt. Let's talk about some of the girls that's back there. First, we got girls like Jackie Young, like not a big name player, but
No.
she's proven.
Yeah.
She's proven.
Yeah. I put it to you
Proven.
like before you get into that, anybody from the Aces team is not getting up off of this roster.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say.
Nobody.
It's a Las Vegas Aces party, man. Anybody
Yeah.
from the Aces, they most likely been a part of a dynasty. They most likely been a part of like multiple championships. They're a proven player. Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it, man. Stop it.
Mhm.
Like I said, I love Caitlin Clark. She's an amazing player. At one point, I kind of referred to her as, one of the greatest female basketball players that I've ever seen. But at the same time, like me being an actual athlete, like I understand, like in sports, it's all about stripes. It's all about earning your stripes. It's
Yeah.
all about
Yeah. Mhm.
it's all about that, and that's something that you haven't done yet. It's not like you came into the league and you just completely lit it up. I don't
No.
know. I ain't gonna lie. Like I'm gonna go out on a limb and say I don't know if at this point in the in the season, I don't know if Caitlin Clark is really like just a front runner for Rookie of the Year.
She might not be, all right. But here's the thing about Caitlin Clark, the season that she's having, all right. There's a difference between the women's and the men's. All right? If this was a men's team, she would be on the roster because we wouldn't have seen anything from her in the season. With the
Right.
women's team, you go from the college championship game, you have maybe a couple weeks before the draft, and then you're playing games a month later. All right, that's a very different thing because now you get to watch how she's playing on the court, What are some things that can be taken away? What can you make her do to make her uncomfortable? Turnovers a little high and all that other stuff. On top of the fact that you have an opportunity to have Kelsey Plum and Sabrina Ionescu as your backcourt for the Team USA, and you got Diana Taurasi possibly coming off the bench with Chelsea Gray. There's no way she's going to see the court. All right. My perspective on this, go back to 1992 with the Dream Team. Zeke got left off. All right. There's two types of decisions you can make with these players. You're either going to make a basketball decision or you're going to make a business decision. Team USA 1992, they made a business decision because you can have Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson on that team, or you can have Isaiah Thomas and not the other two. What's the trade-off? So that was a business decision. They made a basketball decision this time around. The issue everybody's having about it is this should have been a business decision. I don't fully agree with that, but I understand the premise considering the fact that whoever she's playing against, first of all, the team that she's playing on, the Indiana Fever, they're 3-20.
3-20.
3-20. And she's still selling out arenas. They had to move a Washington Mystics game on the road from their arena, 4,065, to a 20,633 seat arena, and they packed it in hours. All right. That is a business decision. My argument, put her on the 3v3 team. All right. HVL, Cam, you put her on the 3v3 team. It doesn't look as bad as you know, to her fans, all right? Because there's a lot of super fans that's taking this too far. But it doesn't look as bad if you put her at least on a 3v3 team for the Team USA. But I'm cool with leaving her off. She's struggling right now. You say, all right, we take a break in the season, Team USA, y'all go do y'all thing. About a month break in the season, month and a half. And only thing that Caitlin Clark is doing is getting the training camp, the off season that she's never gotten. She went straight from the championship game to the draft, to the league in a month. So all the stuff we're seeing, we've never seen her be able to make the adjustments. And I don't think her being on Team USA would have been a smart move right now. But like I said, they made a basketball decision versus a business decision. And that's why everybody up in arms about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I agree with everything that you said. And furthermore, like, let's not get this twisted. Like, in 2024, like, I think like sports have become like more of a fan based type of, you know, ordeal versus, you know, like just leaving it like about the game. Like let's not get it twisted. Like Caitlin Clark, she's one of the greatest talents that we've ever seen in the history of the game. Yeah, you know, from a woman's perspective. Yeah, but at the same time, like I said, this is sports. This is a competitive game. It's always about earning your stripes. It's all about what have you done for me lately. Yeah. It's always that type of deal. You get what I'm saying?
To that point, I had a conversation with somebody in the comments, obviously on Facebook, and they was like, Caitlin Clark not hooping right now. So why is everybody talking about giving her all this attention? Why is she selling out arenas? That is the wrong question to be asking. You shouldn't even be asking that question. You should be saying, all right, she putting 17,000 on average on the season in arenas.
Thanks.
Who is she playing against? She played against the Aces a few times. She played against Chicago. She played against, you know, the Sparks. She's playing against all these teams, and they're 3-20. If you look at the other side, whoever's playing against them is cooking. So who is that cooking on the other side? All right, Asia Wilson, 25, 10, and 6, or whatever the case may be on average for the season. All right, front runner MVP, check her resume, champion, MVP, defensive player of the year. Is she actually one of the greatest basketball players in So then you go down that rabbit hole. That's how you start getting more fans. That's how you start paying attention more and more, because if you think about it, Diana Taurasi ain't playing like out of her mind or anything like that, but she's in the GOAT conversation. She's always been there. So it'd be disrespectful not to include her on Team USA.
Yeah, like, come on now.
And you got, like I said, Kelsey Plum, Sabrina Ionescu, Chelsea Gray. She plays the forward, but she's kind of like that point forward. She's one of the best passers in the league, in my opinion. I just like the way she handled the rock. Jewel Lloyd, when they played the Fever, as a matter of fact, she went crazy. I'm pretty sure she had like a triple double or something like that in that game. She was trading buckets with Caitlin Clark off and on throughout that game. Brianna Stewart, no disrespect, I apologize for not even bringing up your name in the last couple minutes of this conversation. Brianna Stewart is in the argument, for best player in the league too, with Asia Wilson. That's
100%.
Kelsey Plum, Sabrina Ionescu, Diana Taurasi, Brianna Stewart, Asia Wilson. You could make the case. All right, I've been watching USA basketball, women's and men's, for a long time. And you put that five on the court, that might be one of the scariest fives we've ever seen. All right, now listen, you got Lisa Leslie, Candace Parker, Sue Bird, Lauren Jackson was, in Australia. That whole generation, you could have, you could pick any 12 from that generation of players from the WNBA, bring them over to Team USA, and they give you fits. I'm saying as a five, you could take that five versus any of them, versus anybody, and they'll do some work. So Caitlin Clark not being on that roster is better for her. Give her time. Let her just go in the weight room and lift.
Let her earn her stripes.
Yeah.
Let her earn her stripes.
Yeah.
Even down to the fact of like I said, like you got guards on the team like Ryan Howard. Like is it Reen or Ryan? It's Ryan, right?
I think it's Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan Howard. But even down to her, like she's never won a championship, but she's, like I said, she's earned her stripes. She's put in the work. She's done things in the league that Caitlin Clark is probably going to do, but she just hasn't done it yet.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's like you gotta, especially in women's basketball, I would say, like you definitely have to it has to be a kind of a thing to where, like, what have you done for me lately?
And I'm not mad about that. I'm not mad about that at all.
I'm definitely not, because there's like there's a point to where, like, Caitlin Clark is, she is like the focal point now, and she is like one of the main reasons to where, like, the sport is transcending in the way that it is. But a lot of other people had a point to where, like, there's girls who came and paved the way for even that to happen, and they've been putting in work for years.
Yeah.
So you get what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it's like to where, like, in the men's league and the NBA, it's kind of like been like more of a trend to kind of like give a guy his flowers maybe before he actually exactly like deserved them in a way.
Yeah, he ain't earned no stripes. He ain't did nothing in the league to earn, all the stuff he's given. Yep. Yeah,
to where, like, in the WNBA, I can see how that can kind of come across as more harsher than it would in the NBA. You get what I'm saying? I could see that most definitely.
You want me to be honest with you, man?
I do. I'm like, what you thinking over there, man? I do.
Let's talk about this Mavs Celtics real quick.
Ooh.
All right, man.
Let's do it.
I'm gonna let you have the floor. I'm gonna let you go first.
I ain't gonna lie, bro.
But remember though. All right, we gotta keep it at least PG-13.
I'm gonna keep it clean, man. I'm gonna keep it clean.
All right. What you feeling about how you feel about the NBA Finals so far? Because we did pick Mavs. I took them in 6. How you feeling, man?
I took them in 6 as well. I took the Mavs in 6 as well. I'm not very pessimistic about my pick. I still think that they could win in at least 6 or 7. I still think that, depending on how they go back home and they play back at home. But I just want to say that I'm utterly disgusted with the way that the Mavs have been playing, specifically Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving, you are the leader of the team. You're supposed to be the anchor. You're supposed to be the guy that's galvanizing, all of the troops and leading them to the promised land, and you've done nothing. You've done nothing. Not a single thing. You haven't made one memorable play. You've done nothing on defense. You've done nothing with the ball. You've done nothing to help your team in the NBA Finals. And your fourth NBA Finals, man. You know, like I could say a lot about Luka. I could say Luka's turning the ball over too much, but this the first time he ever played in the NBA. Yeah, he is. He flipping it. Luka's turned the ball over too much. PJ Washington, he's still scoring pretty efficiently, but he's not shooting as efficiently as he can shoot
no threes.
Yeah, he not hitting no threes. A lot of guys is discombobulated all over the place, but mainly I just want to focus on Kyrie because he's the person who's experienced. He's been there before, and he's the one who's supposed to be getting the entire team ready for this moment, and he's doing nothing to contribute. Nothing.
Now,
Kyrie Irving.
Do you think?
Where are you?
Do you think it's Kyrie, or do you think it's something that Boston's doing?
I think it's a mixture of both. I want to give Boston their credit for being probably the best. Once they get set, they're probably the best defensive team in the NBA. That's one thing I want to give them credit to. But I discredit Dallas for not pushing the pace against a team like that. I discredit Dallas for, not being a team that can adjust to how the game is going on the fly. Yes, that's what they should be doing. Like they should be getting the ball off defensive rebounds and pushing the pace, pushing up the floor. So Boston, a great defensive team like Boston, isn't able to get set up because that's pretty much the only, that's the only matchup difference that you're gonna get. That's the only I guess you could say advantage that you would get over Boston.
Yeah, they're not gonna have their defense set. Okay. Yeah,
exactly. But if you let Boston get set up and you play them half court, chances are they're gonna get a stop. They're a very good defensive team. That's what they pride themselves on. They're very physical, and like I said, they've been here before as a team, as a unit. They've been here before. So, kudos to Boston to the job that they've been doing defensively. But I also want to discredit Dallas for not making the adjustments offensively that they need to make. Hopefully they make them at home, but so far, game 1, game 2, they've made virtually none.
Let's talk about game 1 real quick. All right.
Okay.
First quarter killed Dallas. First quarter killed them right off the bat. And here's the thing: you can get so much. You can fall and lean into a narrative so much so that it costs you versus preparing you. You go into that environment. Anytime that, going into an environment like Eisenhower, Stevenson, Ford, anytime you go into a tough environment, you tell yourself, all right, right off the bat, they're going to try to punch us in the mouth. We got to withstand it, take the hit, keep being efficient, get efficient baskets. All right. Dallas leans so far into all right, we know they're going to come out quick. They're going to come out fast. This is what they do. We'll take the hit and then we'll respond. But the punches kept coming in that first quarter. They never stopped. You never adjusted to Porzingis because you just assume, all right, he's just going off adrenaline, hasn't played in a while. Everything will go back to normal. Then you don't find the ability to get your own offense going. Kyrie, he's going with 12 points, 6 for 19. He never got it rolling. So you seen him the whole game. We all right. We'll be fine. Just keep going. Just keep going. And you never found your rhythm. So there's some situations where that you and Luka are supremely gifted, supremely talented. You are the firepower. You cannot try to get all your guys going. You can't rely on PJ, DJ, Gaffer, Lively. The Lives wasn't there. You can't rely on all these guys. You have to go get yours first, and then everybody else is going to feed off you because now, all right, they got to overhelp when you drive. They got to overhelp on the defensive side of the ball. You got to force them to make decisions that they don't want to have to make. So then you look at it from that perspective, and you say, well, wait a minute. They pretty much played them even the rest of the game. So if they don't lay an egg in the first quarter, it's a different ball game. All right, fine. We'll chalk that up to Dallas just getting punched in the mouth early, not recovering. You look at game 2, they lose the game by 7 points. Luka missed 4 free throws, and he had 8 turnovers.
8 turnovers.
8 turnovers. Now they weren't situations where, charges, offensive fouls. He's literally driving too far into the lane, losing his balance, losing control of the ball, and then there's 3 occasions where he just flipped over his head. So he got 3 of those and 2 travels. That's 5 of his turnovers. That's 5 shots that never get a look at the basket. I'm just going to look at those 2 areas. Anytime I see a loss like that, I look at free throws, turnovers, and rebounding.
And rebounds.
He had 11 boards himself. Rebounds was 43-41. They won the rebounding battle.
Yeah.
But Boston was 19 of 20 from the free throw line, and they only turned the ball over 10 times. He had 8 by himself. That's all I'm looking at. That's how they lost game 2. Now, even with all that being said, Kyrie Irving having 16 points, 7 for 18 shooting. He only had 6 assists. That's not enough, bro. That's not enough. And look, like I said, you can lean so far into a narrative that it backfires. Relying on the fact that he's been in the NBA Finals before, and we all know what series we're talking about. We all know what shot we're talking about. We all know that he had 41, LeBron had 41. They went crazy. They got them to the game 7, and they did their thing on the road. Sidestep on Steph Curry, 3-ball, down goes the 3-1 lead. 73-9 Warriors. They go. We all know that, all right. But you buying into your own hype to the point that you forget that moment isn't gonna come around every single time. That opportunity isn't gonna present itself every single time. You're not gonna sit up in there and be like, all right, it's fine. Second quarter, third quarter, I'm gonna just turn it on. I'm gonna drop 20 in the quarter. We're gonna be cool, which is what he tried to do. You seen it. He was like, all right, Luka, he doing it by himself. Let me see if I can cook. And he's blowing layups. He's dribbling the ball off his foot, like things we don't normally see from Kyrie. And like I said, those 3 areas, that's how they lost game 2.
I think I want people to understand, like, when you're watching this, I want you to understand how important it is, like, to have a leader in your team when you're watching championship sports, at least. And just speaking to that, I want to say, like, that's another thing. Like, we're seeing how different it is. Like, yeah, Kyrie has been to the finals 4 times, but this is the first time where he's the bus driver. He's the leader. He's the guy who he has to galvanize. It's not,
he's the one with the experience.
Exactly. He's the one with the experience. It's not like, I'm deferring to LeBron or
I'm gonna follow up on this. I want you to follow up on what I'm about to say. All right?
Okay.
Because I see the direction you just took, and I want to talk about his counterpart. If you look at the opposite side and you look at Drew Holiday and what he did last night, that's exactly what we asking from Kyrie, is it not?
That's what we asking from Kyrie.
So how do you feel? Do you feel like that's been a deciding matchup?
Yes.
Because of the experience factor and how it's playing out?
It's the experience. Exactly. It's the experience. We're looking for you. We're meaning, the Dallas Nation, Mavericks Nation, the Dallas fans. Dallas is looking for Kyrie to do the same things that Drew Holiday is doing based on the experience alone. Drew Holiday knows, like, you don't got to tell Drew Holiday, like, he spoke on the fact that he didn't have to galvanize the troops. He didn't have to get everybody ready for game 1 because Al Horford and Jaylen Brown was doing it already. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. He didn't really have to, play like a leadership role in game 1. Game 2, he comes out, he like, still no Jason Tatum. Still no Jason Tatum, man. It is a very quiet first half by Jaylen Brown.
Yep.
We can't lose this game.
No.
Let me get in scoring mode. Which he can. Which we seen Drew Holiday already do in the finals. Mm-hmm. When there's no Giannis. Giannis was out for 2 games, and Drew Holiday averaged like 20-25 points during the course of those 2 games.
Yeah.
So we seen him do it.
Wait, you talking about in the playoffs when they played Miami?
Not when they played Miami, when they played the Suns in the finals.
Yeah, okay.
They played the Suns in the finals. Giannis was out for 2 games.
Yeah, we know how that Miami series went. Continue.
Yeah. So But we seen Drew Holiday do this. We seen him do this in the finals on the biggest stage.
Yeah.
So that's what we're looking for Kyrie. We're looking for that moment, man. We looking for that moment. Like it was times it was times in game 2 to where we seen shades of it. We seen him drive to the hole a couple of times. I think he got back-to-back layups. And before Missoula called a timeout, and he got Boston together, and they came back and went on another run. But I think we seen shades of Kyrie trying to, to give us that moment,
Yeah.
to give us that moment that Dallas so desperately needed. But at the same time, Drew Holiday did a very, very, very good job of, carrying it over throughout the entire game.
Yeah. Yeah.
It wasn't just a moment here and
And we-
there. This was a Drew Holiday game.
Yeah.
This was a Drew Holiday game.
And we're not looking over Derek White. Derek White contributed 18 points, 4 3, 6 of 15 from the field, 5 rebounds, 2 assists,
And not to
3
mention-
steals,
not
2
to mention-
blocks.
Not to mention the block, Not to mention the block down the stretch. This is the second year in a row
And first of
where
all,
where Derek White, he makes a play down the stretch. That's championship basketball. Him
Get-
getting the putback last year against Miami, him getting the block this year against Dallas. Championship basketball, man. I'm sorry.
you keep doing that. That's cool though. That's cool. Football season around the corner. Look, all right, Derek White, that block at the end. I don't want to hear anybody talking about foul. I don't want to hear that. All right. First of all,
It looked like it was a foul.
PJ hand is a part of the ball, bro. All right. We not gonna make an excuse like, oh, they should have called the foul. That's what no. He should
I
have.
mean, at that
He
point,
should have
in the
went up.
finals, they not gonna call that anyway.
He's
So-
6'10", bro.
Yeah,
And he went up like he was a point guard.
Yeah,
You plant 1 foot and you try to dunk it on him.
yeah, bro.
He worried about Jaylen Brown, worried about Derek White. No, you go up and you punch it on him as hard as you can. You go
I
up
agree.
and punch it. You got to take off on 1 foot too. When you look at the game and you look at the way Boston's playing, they just really looking to taking advantage of the mistakes. And one of the biggest ones that I see is, I tell guys, when you're guarding the ball, especially on the wings and especially in the corners, you cannot let them have access to the front door. And that means when you can shade them, but don't completely open up and give them a lane to the basket every single time. If you watch the way they're guarding Boston on the wings, they're letting Tatum and Brown have a straight line drive to the basket every time. Luka, at this point, it's obvious that he's in a lot of pain. His back, his knee, and everything else. All right, that's a given. But Derrick
Luka,
Jones
get
Jr.
it-
is supposed to be your
get it,
defensive
man.
stopper. PJ's supposed to be
Luka,
your
get-
stopper, and you're
get
letting
it,
them
LA.
have line drives.
Membership.
What'd you say?
I said Luka need to get an LA Fitness membership.
Luka need to get a chiropractor. That's what he needs. How you feel about, because we initially talked about Joe Mazzulla, Jason Kidd, that matchup. I liked what I saw from Jason Kidd in the second half last night. He kind of had that, all right, we're not going to take too many timeouts. Let's get to our stuff. All right. And I seen him. He gives signal. He's not calling too many timeouts unless it gets to the point where, all right, Boston puts a 9-0 run on you. That's understandable. But I think he's right in putting the responsibility on Kyrie and Luka Doncic. Like, hey, get to the stuff. All right. Pick and roll. Get the switch that you want. Attack, Kristaps. He has not been well at all. And last night he got hurt. He hurt that calf again. So get to the stuff you need to get to. Attack Jason Tatum as well. But for whatever reason, they go away from that. Then they start attacking Derek White. Then they start attacking Drew Holiday. They play with their food a little bit when they got, Jaylen Brown on them. It's not wise. Simply because they're sharks, man. They smell blood in the water. That's how they're playing right now. They smell blood in the water because they know Kyrie doesn't have it going and Luka isn't 100%.
Exactly. They know your bread and butter is, man, it's spoiled. It got mold in it.
It's
They know
terrible.
your bread and butter got mold in it, so it's like y'all need the others.
Yeah.
So it's like we just about to apply the pressure.
Yep.
We about to apply the pressure to all these guys that ain't never been here before, and y'all need it. And let the chips fall where they may. I also wanna talk about like um when it comes to the coaching perspective, like you were saying. I want to give Jason Kidd. First of all, I want to just credit Jason Kidd for an amazing run, for amazing playoff run.
Hold up, it's not over yet. Don't do that. Don't start it
No,
off like that.
I'm
Why
saying
you
thus
start it
far.
off like that?
I'm saying
My
thus
pick
far.
is still alive. Don't start it like
Listen.
that. That's a bad omen.
Mavs and 6, man.
All right.
Mavs and 6.
Dang.
I'm saying thus far.
Right, no obituary.
What I'm saying is what it looks like Jason Kidd is doing. I ain't gonna lie though. What it's look like Jason Kidd is doing, and even Luka. Kyrie, once again, I'm just very disappointed in him because he's been here before. But it looks like Jason Kidd and Luka are kind of figuring this thing out. They're figuring out how the NBA Finals really goes. So this is going to be an interesting game 3. It's going to be interesting.
What it's going to look like? What it's going to look like?
This is what I think. I think Luka, like I said, Luka, you're not gonna stop Luka from scoring. Luka's he's due for a 40, damn near 50-point game any moment now. He's due for that because he's going to average 30, 35 points. You're not gonna stop him from getting 30. But it's just how the 30 affects the game is what's bothering Luka and the Dallas Mavericks right now. It's about how his play is really affecting the game. That's the whole thing about it. Like 30 points with 8 turnovers, and
Kyrie's gonna have 30 in game 3.
Exactly.
Kyrie's gonna have 30.
I believe that. I believe that. Like you see Kyrie exiting the court from game 2, holding up 5. So that's kind of initiating the fact that like I don't plan to get swept.
Yeah.
I don't plan to get swept at least. I plan to be back here for a game 5. So if y'all can get back there, if you can get back there with that energy, with that, you leaving off the court at TD Gardens, doing like this to the fans, if you can if you can come back with that type of energy tied up 2-2, it's a different type of series, man. It's a different type of series.
You can't see the chat for YouTube, bro, but I can. Sterling said Kyrie playing like he graduated cum laude at UCAP.
No!
Hey,
No!
listen, hey.
Oh my God, Sterling's crazy, dog.
Leave my UCAL people alone, bro.
Yeah, man.
That's uncalled for.
Leave my UCAL people alone, man. Shout out to UCAL, man.
You don't bring inside group chat stuff outside the group chat.
Exactly. Come on, man.
All right, bro.
How you gonna bring that on the live stream?
You wild, man. You wild.
That's a wild boy.
One more thing I want to talk about.
Okay.
One more thing, then we're gonna end the live. All right. Who on Dallas bench? Okay, when you think back to all these different NBA finals, it's one player that you look at the bench and you say, if we're gonna make it out of this, if we're gonna come back being down 0-2, we gotta have somebody come out of nowhere and have that one game I was talking about, that one game where the role players take over. All right, I'm not talking about PJ Washington, Derrick Jones Jr. They got to do their job. That's all I need them to do. I need them to do their jobs at this point. Mm-hmm. When you look at the Dallas Mavericks bench, who are you looking to have that surprise performance?
Okay, he just played one of the people that I would say they just played for the first time last game. They didn't play in game 1. So, one would be before last game. It would be Maxi Kleber. It would be him.
He trash.
That's one. He
trash.
He's a streaky shooter.
Yeah, he a cone. That's what he is.
Streaky shooter.
Trash.
he can have a game. He can have a 3-4 3-pointer game though. He could.
Pick somebody else.
Another person last game that I seen that showed a shade of doing anything. And if you give him some more minutes, I feel like he could do more. Dante Exum. You don't seem too like what's this? I don't like your energy, man.
I don't feel like Dante Exum is the type of player that you need right now. I don't think you can go into this series or go further in this series without actually having some dogs. I think you need a guy like Markieff Morris to make an appearance. I think you need to give Jaden Hardy the minutes that you're giving Josh Green. I think Tim Hardaway Jr. needs to make a scene. Because all you need is a guy, much like we seen, who was that? Was that the Timberwolves series? Who was that? Came off? No, that was the 76ers series. Hadn't seen or heard from Buddy Hield in months. Just threw him in there like, hey, give me something. Buddy ran off 17 points and was cooking in the first half.
Yeah.
Tim Hardaway Jr. can do that. Like I said, this is not saying give him minutes the rest of the series. I'm saying put him in there, see what we can get, and you got to have some dogs out there. If you're a Morris twin, you just looking for a fight at any given moment.
Mm-hmm.
Throw a couple elbows, push somebody around. You put Markieff Morris on Kristaps Porzingis, he's not going to be comfortable. Markieff Morris is going to be a lot more physical, and he has 6 fouls to use, and he is not worried about playing time.
Exactly.
He's not worried about playing time. So I think you need to throw a couple of those guys in there just to throw the game off a little bit, throw off the rhythm. Jaden Harden, he had some moments in that Timberwolves series. I thought he can give you something in the Boston Celtics series. Because, like I said, Kyrie doesn't have it going right now. You need that JJ Barea type players. It's almost blasphemous that I'm saying but Boston and Mavericks are the two most hated teams for a Miami Heat fan at certain points. All right, but I'm choosing the lesser of two evils right now, going with the Mavs.
What do you think about Dwight Powell?
Trash. Here's why I say that. All right. He's kind of the guy that we thought we had high expectations for, but then realized we drafted somebody to be the player we've been waiting on him to be. No offense to him, but Derek Lively is the guy that everybody thought Dwight Powell was going to turn into. If you go back and listen to my season preview for the Dallas Mavericks, I thought Dwight Powell was going to be that guy. Live threat, athletic, rebounds, block some shots here and there. That's Derek Lively's job. So if Daniel Gafford and Lively are doing their job, I mean, Lively's getting 7 rebounds. You get 13 and 9 from Gafford. The only reason Derek Lively didn't have 10 points is because he wasn't catching lobs like he normally does, because Luka Doncic was giving the ball to the other team. Luka was a Celtic last night. All right. So I don't really need anything from Dwight Powell that I can't get from the other two. And Kleber is a cone. That man is a cone. You know, like when you're driving down the highway and like, you know, you're like, oh, let me get around this cone. Let me put my blinker on, get into the left lane. Yeah. He's a cone.
Yeah.
Basketball court, cone. You dribble around him. Cone.
Yeah.
I'm going to pretend I'm crossing this dude over because he's a cone. Yeah. He's not going to give you anything offensively either because he basically got his shoulder is strapped.
What we got?
He was talking about when you asked about Dwight Powell, and I instantly said he was trash. It's just, you gotta be truthful about some of these rosters at this point. I mean, like I said, man, he's not gonna give me anything that the other two can't. What do you think? All right, if you looking at FanDuel and you putting out a prop for the next game, what do you think is a lock?
Say it again.
What do you think is a lock for the next game? Prop, FanDuel. What do you think is a lock for Boston Celtics versus the Dallas Mavericks game 3 on Wednesday?
Game 3.
Mm-hmm.
Let me look at it first. Let me look at
I
it
ain't
first.
gotta look. I know what it is.
What?
I got mine.
What is it?
If you look, Kyrie was 0 for 3. PJ Washington was 1 of 5. Derrick Jones Jr. was 0 for 3 from 3. I'm taking all their threes over.
Look, I was gonna say PJ Washington points, so that kind of play into my
I'm
neck.
gonna take all their threes over.
I'm looking at PJ Washington at over 14 and a half, and he shot horrible. He scored what 17 last game?
Yeah, 17, 6 of 13, 1 of 5 from 3.
1 of 5 from 3.
But he had 7 boards though. That's what I'm saying. If Luka's not turning the ball over, that's a couple more opportunities for the guys to even throw the ball at the basket. Something good can happen because you still got a lot of good rebounders on your squad. You got Gafford, you got Lucas grabbing rebounds. Like I said, PJ had 7. Lively had 7 himself. I mean, you won the rebounding battle. If you have more shot attempts, there's more opportunities for offensive rebounds to get fouls. But you got to stop flipping that. You got to stop flipping it.
I got one more too. Drew Holiday under rebounds, 6.5 under.
You know what? I think Drew Holiday might get 2 quick ones next game.
Mm-hmm.
I think he might get 2 quick ones. That's typically how. If you think about it, when a guy comes off a great game like that, whether it's him or Derek White, they go on the road. They getting some foul calls now. Dallas is. I think 2 quick ones in the first by somebody in that core 4 defensively. I'm not talking about Al Horford. I'm talking about the other 4. Somebody's going to pick up 2 quick ones. Kyrie's going to go for 30. And I got all them threes going over. And I say Luka Doncic. I'm feeling 12 assists.
Yeah, I was gonna say
somebody a parlay.
I don't know about 12. You know, coach is a little bit more.
You gotta boost the odds.
Yeah, he's a little bit more. He's a little bit more optimistic with his picks than me. But I was gonna say that I feel like Luka could go over with his assists. His assists is at 9.5.
Okay, yeah.
I'm taking Luka.
Take the double.
100%. Take the double.
Yeah.
And Dallas money line.
Okay, I like it. All right,
Dallas
man. So, Caitlin Clark, Dallas Mavericks, Boston Celtics. You got anything? Send us off.
I got one more, man. All right, so look, I want y'all to, you know, kind of, y'all got to send y'all comments in on this. This is a social media topic. The 04 Pistons versus the 2017 Warriors, man.
And you know what?
Who's taking it? And look, this is a 7-game
Listen,
series.
we gonna do the video. We gonna record it. Everybody gonna comment down below. But I'm gonna tell you something right now. And then as soon as I say this, I'm gonna end the stream. All right? As soon as I say it, I'm gonna end the stream. I agree with Richard Jefferson said. They wouldn't even beat the 2016 Cavs. We out. That's the end of